Hi guys, it's Satya here. If you're new here, welcome. Today I have a video from inside my car because today I'm going to pimp it up with crochet. In today's video, I'm going to make a cover for my steering wheel, my seat belt, and if I have enough time, because this is going to be based on nearly a day and maybe a half, because today is Friday and it's in the afternoon already. The sun is very hot in my car actually, but I have an afternoon and maybe just tomorrow might have a full day, not a full day of crochet because I have some errands to run with the kids, etc. But let's say I have a day of crochet. So I'm going to do steering wheel, the seat belt cover, and the headrests. Those are for sure. And then depending on how much time I have left, I might actually make some covers for my car seats. But that depends, as I said, so it depends how long I take to crochet. A small note is that crocheting a cover for your car's steering wheel might be a bit dangerous because it might slip, so you have to make sure it is very tight. At the moment I already have a cover on my steering wheel, and that's because in Malta it's very humid and in winter it's very wet, and my steering wheel tends to sometimes be a bit sticky and slippery, so that's why I have a cover already for it. So let me take some measurements and we'll get on to crocheting some granny squares and choosing my colors. So I took all the measurements from my car, but since this is a movable object, I thought I would bring it at home and make it simpler to figure out how I can cover this headrest. Colors. I have been thinking a lot about colors, and also patterns. I have seen some ideas on Pinterest of these covers and they're mostly floral. I am thinking of doing floral, but not a floral next to each other, similar to the pillow I created in the past few days. So I'm thinking of doing sort of a gingham style thing for my car. And for colors, I'm thinking to have blue because that's my favorite color. And then I'm thinking of these colors. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about my color selection. But so far this is giving me good vibes. So I decided on having a daisy granny square, and I will be doing a flat daisy for the seats and the steering wheel. And for the seat belt, I'm thinking of doing the popcorn stitch. I believe it's popcorn puff stitch. I think this is the puff stitch and the one I'm referring to is the popcorn stitch. So that's for the granny square, daisy granny square, and the other two are just a simple granny square. I'm still clueless how this is going to work out in terms of sewing and put it all together, but we'll figure it out as we go along. I can officially say that you can try this tutorial at your own risk, because I said I'm going to be winging it in this video. The only thing I have figured out is these squares. How they're going to go together, it's still a mystery to you as it is to me. But obviously I will be sharing some tips on how you can create this for your own car as well. If you're here just watching my video and maybe you have a hook in your hand, a ball of yarn, and maybe sipping some tea or coffee, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you. Okay, so now I'm going to be creating these squares. I will figure out how many squares I have according to the measurements of my steering wheel and the seat belt cover and so on. I will give you updates as I go along and maybe finish something. I have only 2 days to finish these, so the pressure is on. But yeah, let's start off with the steering wheel and then move on to the seat belt covers. Let's get crocheting. So this is where I'm at. I have finished some of the squares in order to see how many squares I would need. So I measured this section and I divided it by the circumference of my steering wheel. And obviously the less is better. So the total, when I have divided the squares by the total circumference of my steering wheel, was about 11 point something. So I am going to do 11 squares since I need this to be tight. At my 10th square, when I start joining them together, I will actually measure again, so I make sure that I have less diameter in order for it to be tight. So I will keep creating the squares and then I will join them together in line with each other, and then I will try it on my steering wheel. So we're heading out now to enjoy a little bit time outside because now it is about 6:30. So I'm going to pack things up in my whip basket, whip bags that I carry my whips in, and yeah, I'm gonna pick everything up. So continue working on my steering wheel whilst we are outside, and maybe eventually start on my seatbelt covers. So I think I will take all my colors with me. I don't know how much I can manage to crochet actually, but I have everything with me. Good morning, guys. It's the next day and it's still very early in the morning. In fact, it's still dark outside. As usual, I did not crochet too much yesterday when I went outside, so not much improvement there. But anyway, let's get started. Now that my squares are done for my steering wheel, this should be all the squares I need for the wheel. I will start joining them together by working a simple single crochet along this line over here. And I will be alternating by these different shades of blue. So now that I have joined the squares together, I will be going around on both sides, making decreases in order to have it fit tight on my steering wheel. So now I will simply single crochet into each double crochet worked previously, and I will do one round of that, and then I will start my decreasing rounds. Also, may I mention that I personally prefer weaving in my end as I go along, so I will be placing these, distributing them and working around them. So the cover for the steering wheel is done. What I have done is some increases. The first row is just single crochet into each double crochet. The second row is basically inserting 4 decreases, which means when you single crochet 2 together per square. So I started off with 2 single crochets and then single crochet 2 together, 2 single crochets and spacing them out. So I had 4 decreases per square, and then for the third and final round I simply single crocheted 1 and then decreased 1, single crocheted 1 and then decreased 1. So that is how it looks. Now I'm going to go and try it out on my steering wheel. I love it. It's actually perfect. Do you see me rolling? For the seatbelt, I was thinking of making the flower as a pop-up sort of, which is called a popcorn stitch if I'm not mistaken. I will do about 3 squares, and I think I will make my daisy square smaller. This daisy square that I created for my steering wheel, which I will also be using for my seats if I manage to get to that, has 12 petals, but for my seat bed, since it's a bit of smaller area, I will do a daisy of 8 petals, and instead of triple crochets I think I will use double for the petals. Okay, so let me get started on that. I'm thinking of doing 4 seatbelt covers, so we will have 1 each, and like that everybody feels included. And then I will move on to the headrest, which I still haven't figured out how it will be executed, but we'll see when we'll get to it. Let's start those seatbelts. So the squares are done for my seat belts, and I have actually worked on a version which is this one, and I think it is looking cute. So basically how this will go is I will put some Velcro over here, and this will close this way, and that's how it will be looking. And now I have to create the same as I did here for the other tree. And basically what I did here is continue working in granny stitch back and forth for about 4 rows. Obviously before I joined them by single crocheting both ends together. In this case I joined them through the back loop only, and that created this texture over here, which I like. So I will do this for 3 more times, and then we can move on to my headrest. It's currently 3:40 on Saturday, and we're leaving soon to go to run an errand, and I'm taking everything with me as I did yesterday. Hopefully this time I get more work done. Hello everyone, it is the 3rd day and this is where I'm at. It's the piece that I created for my headrest, which I have over here, and this is how it will go, and I think it is very cute, and the flower, I think it's the perfect size for it. So I will show you how I did the flower. It's basically just 2 rounds of popcorn stitch, and then the leaves sort of, they are made of double crochets and triple crochets. At the back of the headrest I will just create a normal granny square of this size. So for the flower I'm use the yellow, this blue and the green for the leaves, and then this dark green for the outside part. So it's basically, I start off with a magic ring and I double crochet 11 into that magic ring. And then in the second round, I will have 12 popcorn stitches. Then for the third round, I will have another round of popcorn stitches. And then for the fourth round, instead of doing another round of popcorn stitch, I created this sleeve, which is basically 2 double crochets and a treble, and then I chain 2 to create this part over here, and I slip stitch back into the treble, and then a treble and 2 double crochets, and I always chain 2 in between to have some space where I can work the next round. So that's the magic ring, and I will start off with a chain 2. That will be also considered as the first double crochet, and now I will create 11 double crochets. As I mentioned, we will have 12 petals in total. Now I create a slip knot, join in the slip stitch. I will start off with the chain 2, and now I will work 4 double crochets into that same space. Pull on your loop, insert your hook into that chain 2 stitch and slip stitch, and like that you create your popcorn stitch. Chain 2 and work on your next one, where now I will double crochet 5. Insert your hook into that first double crochet, insert your hook into that loop and pull. Chain 2 and move on to your next popcorn stitch. You will have 12 popcorn stitches around. Then for the next round, you will insert a popcorn stitch in the chain 2 spaces. Chain 1 and join. Chain into the first chain 2 space. And now for the next round, I will chain 3 and again create popcorn stitches, but this time I will be using trebles. So I will work 5 trebles to create my popcorn stitch. Join with a slip stitch and a chain 2 space, chain 2, and this will count as the first double crochet. Work a double crochet. Next I will work a treble crochet. Now I will chain 3 and I will insert my hook at the top of the treble that I just worked. I will slip stitch and this will create this tiny loop over here. Now I will work a triple crochet and 2 doubles. And that's the leaf. Now I will chain 2 and work in the next chain 2 space. And I will continue working in this manner all around in each chain 2 space. Once that is done, I will start working with my dark green, where I will work 3 double crochets into each chain 2 space. I work 3 double crochets into each chain 2 space, and at the corners I will work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and work another 3 double crochets into that same space to create my corner, and I will continue going all around in this manner. As you can see, I'm very excited about this project because it turned out very beautiful, and I really did not think I needed to pimp up my car, but it was a good thing I did because I love it. I did not manage to crochet the seat covers though. I was a little bit over my head thinking I would get to manage to create this over the weekend, but I got some things done. I have my headrests and the seat belt cover for each of my seat belts, as you can see, and the steering wheel, which I love. Obviously this is up to you. You want to create the steering wheel cover since as I mentioned, it might be a bit dangerous if it's not very tight, but I would totally recommend doing the seat belt covers and the headrest. It's so cute. I think that's enough for today. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments down below what you think of pimping up the car or not after all. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!